Okay, I'm recording and I'm making this video because this is going to be one of many other videos that I'll be making as to how corrupt these courts are. Alright, go ahead and tell your story and say what happened.
Alright. I have a court coming up in a couple days. I wish to file a demur. In order to file a demur, I needed a copy of my court file. And it had all the documents that are charged against me. So I get out to the criminal clerk's office and request my documents, and they tell me that I can't receive my documents until after arraignment. I inform them that the demur has to be filed prior to arraignment. And in order to file a demur, I needed to see my case file and know what I'm being charged with, the nature and cause of the charges as per the Sixth Amendment. And they told me that it was against the procedure to give out the document because it wasn't yet public record. And it doesn't become public record until after arraignment. I said there's a couple of issues with that. I'm not the public, I'm the private individual. I'm the person who these charges are being filed against, so I'm not the public. And second of all, I cannot enter a plea in my arraignment because once I do, I lose the ability to file a demur. And a demur is an exact response to these charges and all the nature and cause of these charges. So I need to have my court document, basically, the items in my file. And they told me they couldn't give me these documents, so I talked to the supervisor. The supervisor, he went back and talked to the judge because there's no manager on duty. And they all told me no. I said to wait till after arraignment. I told them I was not to go to town hall and file a claim for damages. Damages to me and damages to my case and my inability to perform a proper defense because of their unwillingness to inform me of the nature and cause of all the charges and all the complaints against me. I was told that I could look at 3 papers, not the police report or anything else like that. I could only look at the files or the papers charged against me by the DA. I said, okay, take a look at those. I started looking at them, and the ladies got frustrated with me because I had been there for several minutes. And I flipped through all 3 pages, and she goes, you can't do that. I said, I can't do what? She goes, you can't do that. I'm going to call security. I said, okay. And I said everything, and I set the papers back on her desk. She ran and walked out. I live 3 hours away. That's not on the license. That's part of one of the issues that I was having. So in order to protect myself, I came down with my grandmother, who just recently had eye surgery, so I'm driving, having her sit in the passenger seat, but she's down there as an escort, and the reason why I'm driving down there, so I can take care of this stuff. Well, we're in the parking lot, and come out of the parking lot, she's driving, because she didn't feel comfortable with me driving, because there was officers coming out of the courthouse. And she's asking what was going on. I said, I don't know, I think they might have been calling on me. She goes, for what? I don't know. We'll have to figure this out. So we come out to the stop sign, and an officer's running behind the car yelling at my grandmother to stop. He starts slamming his fist on the trunk of the car. Stop the vehicle. She pulls over. She goes, what's this about? He comes up to the passenger side. I roll down my window halfway. He's screaming at me, get out of the car. Get out of the car. I said, what's going on? He says, get out of the effing car. I do. What's happening? What's going on? And 3 other officers show up, and they said, we're going to drag you out of that car. I said, drag me out of the car for what? And they reach their hands in the window and start unlocking the door and yank me off of my arm. And 4 were just manhandling me. There's hands on my arms, on my shoulders. I'm getting twisted around. And they're like, quit resisting. I said, quit resisting what? He says, you're under arrest. I said, oh, I put my hands behind my back. Right? It's like that. My grandmother watched the whole thing. And they walked me down and started asking questions. And I'm trying to ask them what's going on. They're like, what'd you steal? I said, what do you mean, what did I steal? I didn't steal anything. That guy leaves and tries to search my grandmother's car. She tells him, what are you doing? You can't search my car without a warrant. He goes, this is a criminal investigation. And he proceeds to search my grandmother's car. I get walked out about half a block away so they can question us separately. And a guy that's standing with me doesn't know jack about what's going on. I said, what am I being arrested for? He's like, I don't really know, man. What happened? I'm like, you're an officer. You should know why you're arresting me. He goes, so far you're under arrest for PC 148 resisting arrest. I'm like, I'm under arrest for resisting arrest? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how does that make any sense? He goes, you're obstructing an officer. I said, how was I obstructing an officer? I was never informed I was under arrest. He goes, well, are you under arrest now? I'm like, well, apparently I am. I've been detained.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask you a question real quick. Did they ever find a phone?
No, they never found my phone.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
They never found a phone in the car except for the one my grandmother was talking on.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question then. Did they keep asking you questions and wanting you to answer what they were asking you?
Well, yeah, but I told them I wasn't gonna talk. So I basically talked about other stuff other than the case.
Well, what happened after that then? Did they take you in or what?
Yeah. He said, well, there's a chance, we might just let you go right here. I said,
yeah, right. Yeah, he's like, if you just admit to committing a crime, I'm gonna let you go right now.
Right, exactly. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, let's go sit in jail for a while. And because really I don't understand what's going on. And he asked me, do you understand why you're under arrest? I said, no, I don't have a fucking clue. This doesn't make any sense to me. He's all, you understand what's happening, right? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm being arrested. Do you understand why? I'm like, no, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. He goes, okay. You just trying to be philosophical here? I'm like, no. I mean, why would you come and rip somebody out of the car based upon an allegation that the court clerk made after, she had just been told that I was going to file claims against her? Here I am being arrested for what? I'm under arrest for resisting arrest. That makes absolutely no sense.
And then so what happened?
How can I understand that?
And then so what happened after they put you in jail? What'd you do then?
And so he asked me.
What did he tell you actually?
What did he tell me after I went in jail?
Yeah, since it's Friday, what did he want?
Well, what was it? Not the sheriff. The sergeant was pissed off. The sergeant was the one that yanked me out of the car. He told me I was a standard till court. He's like, you're not getting out till court. I'm like, for what? And
so that was what, Monday, right?
Yeah. Until Monday. Well, that's my other court date. I don't know if they knew that or not. But the sergeant ended up passing the case off onto the guy that I was standing with. The guy that I was standing with he was very nice, but he was still trying to get me to talk. I was thinking, anything I say can't be used against me, so let's just make them laugh. Keep this process nice. And so I ended up posting bail and getting right out.
He must have been mad.
But everybody's surprised I even requested bail for a charge like this because normally I don't.
So now they got you for resisting arrest, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
That's a misdemeanor. So now I wonder what's gonna happen when you file a claim for damages for the first instant, and now you got this other issue to resolve, which I think may actually result in filing more claim for damages. I don't know. It just sounds like they dug a deeper hole.
I'm not exactly sure, what to say, but I can say that they acted erroneously. They acted on false information, and they acted to the full extent of their power without regard for my rights.
Well, they do that every day, so I mean, they just.
It's just screwed up that I can be drilling out of a private vehicle.
Yeah, well, they just don't know. They just don't know. I mean, and for the most part, cops don't know civil rights, and they don't know process, and they just do what they're told, and that's that's fairly correct as far as most cops in California, at least, because you got to go with the flow. So when some other people happen to know their rights, and they're like, well, you can't do this and you can't do that, cops don't believe it, because I mean, when does that ever happen anyway?
Yeah, never. Yeah. I mean, very rarely, and so they're not used to dealing with it.
Yeah, so basically now you're facing.
I think they find it as a challenge to their powers. They feel like they need to overpower you.
Yeah, well, federal court will come. That's a different story. I think when they're not an officer no more, and they're just an individual person. I was talking to a friend of mine who we just found some case law where actually was it a janitor served time in jail, and one of the reasons why was because some public servants were doing certain things that they weren't authorized to do. Someone that knew law came in, filed a federal lawsuit, won, and then filed charges. And what happened was that even the janitor that had no idea, no clue what happened, ended up going to jail for 25 years. And they used ignorance of the law as no excuse, and because you are affiliated and associated by them, and you are collecting the fruits from this RICO conspiracy, what happens is that they're a party to the action. It's kind of like when, you know, that guy runs into the liquor store and you're the driver and he kills someone because the guy doesn't want to hand over the money on the inside. So then the guy, yeah, and then the driver doesn't know anything about it. It's the same thing, only it's applied to public officials. I'm gonna make a video on that later on. I'm still right now in my process, but so the point is now you have 2 cases you're fighting now out of really 1 case.
Right, yeah, one case for another one while I was trying to get my paperwork.
Yeah, so now they just made one out of thin air because they said, well, he's going to file a claim for damages. Uh-oh, red flag, what do we do? So let's just make something up. And so, yeah, but I'm making this video, and I thank you for making this video with me because I want people to see that you have to be very careful when you go to court. Apparently, some people, you tell them you're going to file a claim for damages because of... and then you see the reason, which is by law, really. They don't like that. They feel threatened. So, you know, just letting people know, be careful with what you say. And just keep in mind that...
I mean, to be quite honest, that's probably where I screwed up. So I probably shouldn't have told them I was filing a claim for damages. I just thought it might be a little edge, and they might actually listen and give me my paperwork.
Yeah, you thought you were helping them. You honestly thought you probably were helping them out, right? Like, hey, look, if you don't do this, I mean, I'm gonna be forced to file a claim. You know, and I know, and I used to do the same thing. But you know, like I said.
And so, I mean, to be quite honest, even trying to do that was probably the wrong thing.
Yeah. So, but I mean, when it comes down to it, what do you do when the courts are corrupt? Well, what happens if you are able to file a claim for damages? Just telling them, you know, isn't anything criminal, but from what I understand, you know, I guess it's best to not try to help these people. If they want to be deceived, let them be deceived, and then we, you know, just gotta hopefully fight our own cases.
Yeah, we just gotta open people's eyes, you know.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix, you know what I mean? The people are all around us, and some of them don't want to open their eyes, and if they're not ready, they'll actually bring you down. They'll take you down. They'll say, no, I don't want to be up.
Yeah.
So anyways, well, thanks for making the video, and I'm going to post this now.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and another thing I want to tell for viewers out there, because I know this guy didn't want to come on, and so it's still ongoing, and don't want to say his name either. But if, for example, if I'm going to go to court and I got my arraignment, and it's a misdemeanor, if I'm going to fire my public defender or public pretender, I do not want to ignore what the judge is saying. For example, this happened with someone I know where they were asked if he was going to go pro per and represent himself, and he said, well, first I'm going to file some motions. And so she says, no, first you're going to tell me so I can know what to do if you're going to be, you know, pro per and represent yourself, or if you're going to go with your public defender. And he said, well, no, first I'm going to file these motions, and then I can talk about that. You see, he had this false notion that if I say anything, which most people do, and it comes from this counterintelligence programs run by the government and thrown on YouTube and on the internet everywhere as a straw man and other crap that I believe it to be crap because nobody has proof of it yet to this date, is that they make you think that if you say anything, or you know, if you don't say the right thing, they have jurisdiction, and that's not true. As a matter of fact, they can have they might not even have jurisdiction. Even if you're found guilty, come back and you can vacate and you can do what's called a void judgment because the court lacked jurisdiction. So people have this false notion that once you say something and oh, that's it, the court grants you, you grant the court jurisdiction over you, but that's not the case, for the simple fact that there's a lot of cases out there where people have done void judgments and have even set it aside because the court lacked jurisdiction, which obviously that means you would have to go all the way and be found guilty, and you can still do it. So people don't believe that, because what happened was this guy was held in contempt, 30 days, no bail, and the judge said, well, okay, fine. You want to file your motions? File them. I'm holding you in contempt 30 days, no bail. After you filed it, we're taking you forthwith. That's it. Done. Later. So, once again, in my opinion, the judge wanted to know, hey, do you want to represent yourself? That way I can take the proper procedures and I'll know what to do. Like, for example, give you a Faretta waiver, etc. So, but this guy obviously thought, hey, maybe if I just you know, say something wrong, and I'm going to give them jurisdiction, and then I won't be able to file my motions, and it's just garbage, you know. People get this misinformation from the internet, and so, like I say, if you're going to believe something, you better get it from someone that can prove it, and that's why I don't see many people putting videos up on YouTube for that same reason, because a lot of them aren't real, in my opinion, of course. So keep that in mind, and don't believe what you read. At least do your own research if you get something that you know, sounds too good to be true. Anyways, so thanks again for the video, man, and I'm gonna stop recording.
Sounds good.